to the penitentiary, both of them came from the same society. So why did one become productive and why did the other one went to the penitentiary? Oh, question. Yeah.
Someone who has
What was the question?
someone who has
What did he say? What did he say?
Can you repeat the question? Repeat it?
Yes.
Can you repeat the question, please?
You're saying this. One Westmore, well, both of the Westmores came from both communities. You stated that it's from one society. Both of them came from the same society. The one was successful and a scholar, but the other one's in the penitentiary. So how is that a true fact?
One moved out. One was moved out.
Okay. This will be your response. So come on. Respond to the question. He's asking the question. And he's asking it to you.
One was moved out of that environment.
One was what?
He was moved out of the environment.
So if the other one would have moved out, he would have been
I'm not saying
successful.
he would have, but it's been a better possibility.
And you basing that on what?
Of the West that moved out.
But what facts do you have to support what you're saying? What research do you have? You don't have no research?
Okay.
So you just come up.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, my name is Keith Smith, and I'm from Ms. Odom's class, English 21. And, I'm on the con side, and I feel like that your genes and genetics do form you as a person because the example is Archie Manning. He was a quarterback in the NFL. He was a Pro Bowler and all-time, an All-Pro, NFC Player of the Year and all that. He had two sons, Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, and they both were in the NFL and they're successful. They both won Super Bowls. And like basically, since he was a quarterback, he was 6'3", 212 pounds, and like both of their bodies were in the same shape as him. So of course, it was going to be in their genes when they play football and be good quarterback. And that's all I gotta say.
My name is Sean Davis. I'm in his Odom class. And you saying just because their dad was a quarterback, they was gonna be a quarterback? No, their environment was about quarterback because his daddy was a good quarterback. So he taught them what to do, how to snap the ball, how to do everything, throw, power, and all that. So their environment came from being a quarterback. It didn't come down just from genetics. Thank you.
My name is Jabri Proby. People's environment, it doesn't shape who they are, because you can't say that just growing up somewhere shapes who you are. It's people born into luxury and died on the street, and it's people born into poverty and died in a penthouse. It's all about how you're raised.
My name is Jamal Fleming, English 21. Your environment plays a huge part on nature. I mean, look, I'm sorry. Pretty much. I was doing some research on the computer, and this lady was talking about, I forgot her name, but she was talking about a serial killer. She had said, does he kill because it's in his genes? No matter how his parents raised him, he would have been a violent serial killer. Or did his environment shape him to be a serial killer? Did he get enough attention as a child? Was he abused? Or was it in the people he grew up with in the neighborhood? So pretty much, his environment, the people he grew up with, he pretty much.
Just to clarify, I heard you say two things. I heard you say that it was in his genes to be a serial killer, and then you said his environment shaped him.
That
which
was the
one?
question. That was the question.
That's all I want was clarification.
Thank you.
My name is Gary Easley, and I'm from English 28, Professor Johnson. You know, I can agree with the gene theory. My father was an alcoholic. My mother was a very good, hard-working woman. But a bad environment can be an incentive for somebody at some point to start making different choices. I mean, it's simple as this, man. You put your hand in that fire and it burns you one time, do you keep putting your hand in that fire? Well, some people at some point, you know, grasp reasonable common sense and say, hey, man, I'm not going that way no more. And at that point, somebody's going to be coming willing to take some suggestions. I spent 30 years in prison, in and out. I follow simple suggestions a day, and I'm getting a whole different experience in life, and it's just that simple. I don't put my hand in that fire no more, no matter what. You know.
Thank you, Gary. Yes. No, go right in.
My name is Danny Smooth. He's 28. Mr. Johnson. And all of the examples we've used today shows environment. Because no matter what example you've used, you had to be in a certain environment to get there. You had to be in a certain environment to get the suggestions that you wanted. You had to be in a certain environment to change your ex-environment. If you moved from urban America to southern America, you still in an environment. An environment is a state of being. It ain't going nowhere. You know, and at one point in time, you're going to make your own decision as an adult, as an older child, but you're still going to be part of the environment. I'm just now coming back to school at 47 years old. My sister's been an RN for 28 years. We came from the same environment, but it took that environment that she had and came from to give her the strength to go graduate from Texas.
Thank you. Oh, you're not? Okay. Anyway.
What about Ms. O?
She's suspected. So, anyone, at this point, the con team, all of you have spoken, so anyone, please take the liberty to respond. Absolutely.
My name is Antoine McDaniel, and I'm speaking on behalf of the cons. I researched some information, and it's a dialogue integration of nature and nurture by Arnold Samaroff from the University of Michigan, which said that the genetics influences and brain development strongly contributes to who we are. And I believe that, and I want to say that that's true because you guys are presenting information that has to do with characteristics that last individuals a short lifetime, but it doesn't expand into their future. And your genetic, which is the development of your brain, is supposed to be able to shape your characteristics throughout your future. And I feel that your genes and your genetic does that, but your environment doesn't. Your environment.
Thank you. Okay, hold on. There's someone that has not gone. Come on, you know who you are.
My name is Chris Burnell. Pretty much to give you an example about like how Master P was like glorified as a good guy, a game banger, but he had a son, Romeo, who turned his, who goes to USC and plays basketball. It's not what I'm trying to say. How Master P didn't let the environment, his environment, dictate his son, how his son's going to turn out to be. Basically, he steered him away from the gangs and the drugs and all that good stuff. All that bad stuff. That's pretty much it.
All right. You have your environment is one thing, but being as I'm from Texas, and me moving to California, I've been here for 4 years. Saying the things that I say, I might adapt to what I say in my environment. Doesn't mean that's who I am. My nature is me calling you boy, or me saying this, or me saying what I'm used to. I still do what I do. I still wear what I wear. I might wear it in a different way, but I'm still not. You adapt to your environment. That's true, but it doesn't make you who you are. That's all I have to say.
I'm Deshaun Davis. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I've been out here 7 months. And, when I first came out here, I was a person that wore this, wore that, dressed like I was back home. I came out here and started seeing what they dress like to try to not fit in, but just to, you know, get the feel of how they dress. I came out here and started playing football, and I seen them spatting their cleats, taping their wrists, so I started doing it because it's my environment. Like, I didn't do that back home. So when I came out here, I wanted to fit in on the football team, how they dress. So I wanted to look good. They was looking good, so that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Try to look like me. Try to look like me.
Once again, my name is Brian Valentine, age 28, Professor Johnson. Like I said, you had a choice. You chose to spat. You chose to follow everybody else. You could have been a leader. You could have still what you did. You had a choice.
I didn't know what to say, so I'm stop this.
I was just going to say that your friends is your environment. You could be, I know gang members that have 2 parents, have good homes, have money, and all of that, but their friends is their environment. You know what I'm saying? Their friends was their influence, so whatever your friends did, that's what you was going to do. Paris Hilton, you have Lawrence Fishburne's daughter that she started doing pornos and all this other stuff. It was because of the friends she was around. You know, Lawrence Fishburne been rich for a long time now. Just like my brother was talking about Master P, son. Master P came from the hood, the Calio Projects, you know, and for him coming from the Cali Projects and him being the only successful person in his family, that should have been genetic, that no matter how much money that him and Master P made, that Romeo should have been ended up the same way. So it's your environment that shapes, you know.
But it showed in the long run that genetics played a major role in it. Look at the outcome of his son. All of us have a different time and period when we come to that point of maturity. He didn't have to follow in that step, because he did, in a sense, he followed his father's footsteps, because look at it, he's a successful businessman right now. And it didn't have nothing to do with his environment.
So you say everybody heard of the story about Columbine, right? A kid got picked on at school, get picked on every day. So his mother and father want to kill her. He came to school and killed everyone. It was his environment, because his environment kept picking on him. So he felt like in order to get back at them, he was gonna kill them. So his mother and father want to kill her. So how was his genetics?
I have a question. So
Yes.
Are you saying that everybody that gets picked on goes and shoots the school up?
No, that was just.
That was
his environment.
My name is Keith Smith. I'm English 21 Odom class, and I want to respond to what he said about the gang banging, and gang bangers that got mother and a father at home or whatever. And okay, just because they gang bang, because that's the environment. If they dad was a punk, or you feel what I'm saying, like he was a buster or whatever, just because I'm from a gang and I'm involved in it, that don't mean that I'm gonna be one of the hardest gang members. I might be from the gang, but I still might be a buster in my heart, because it's not. I mean, my dad was a weenie, so his weenies and they gonna get passed down to me. You feel me? You feel me? Just like
I believe that we all were created with basic human functions. That's just to survive and exist long as we can. But